Ready? Go! Super Smash Brothers!
Hey guys, Max again here from OCD, and today I wanted to talk about a little something special to my heart. It's Super Smash Brothers. Super Smash Brothers is a video game created by Nintendo in the late 90s for the Nintendo 64, and it's really held a place in my heart for a really long time now, up to this date. I've always wanted to see it in live action or even animated in a movie form. So today what I'm going to talk about is how that could look like, who could be creating, producing, directing, and who could be the voice cast or the live action cast for a new Nintendo Super Smash Bros. Movie that most likely will come out. With Super Mario Bros. Movie, Detective Pikachu, and the Sonic trilogy, we already have a good choice of characters to choose from. Mario, Luigi, Bowser, Sonic, Pikachu, and all the Pokemon inside of the Detective Pikachu movie. Now, the format. Would it be live action? Would it give us realism? Would you be able to see the hairs on Pikachu? Is it just going to be voice actors? Would Kirby look like Nightmare Fuel in person? There's a lot of questions. The only thing is that I really think that needs to be done is have each character shine, have their lore clearly stated, not just side characters and not just cameos, but main characters. At least the top 8, maybe the, I guess, top 4 characters at least. Probably Mario, probably Pikachu, probably Link, and most likely Sonic characters. Now, as far as directors go, it's kind of sketchy. Now, there are the Russo brothers, which have made Avengers movies that have been successful, but they've also made really bad failure movies, box office bombs. Now, the Avengers format is actually a really good format for this type of movie, where in the Avengers, characters came from either different universes, different timelines, and each of them had their story told. Well, at least in the first 10 years of the MCU, had their stories told with good detail, good backing, good lore, and it really felt like you got a hang of the characters that are introduced in the Avengers before you get thrown into the Avengers, sort of like how the Snyder movies threw you into the Justice League or threw you into Batman vs. Superman immediately without giving Batman at all any sort of like solo movie, introduction movie. It just kind of jumped to catch up to Avengers, of course. But what I would like to see in this kind of movie is something a little more planned out, with a little more purpose to each story they tell. And it would really be cool to see a good sense of humor with all the characters, because at the bottom line, all these characters are meant for fun. They're meant for families for the most part, through Nintendo. Another director that might be good for this would be James Gunn. Now, James Gunn has been known for teen movies, Guardians of the Galaxy, the upcoming Superman, and the future of the DCU as we know it, for now at least. So I don't have a doubt that a director like James Gunn would bring heart, humor, and basically be able to tell a story with such a big ensemble cast. The only thing I worry about is that there might be too much humor, and it might not be taking itself. It's obviously it's cartoons. How serious can you really take it? But I would want the characters inside whatever movie is made from this to take themselves seriously, even if we as the audience don't. Another good set of directors would be Phil Lord and Chris Miller from the Spider-Verse trilogy and the Lego movie. They obviously know how to work around with animation movies, with very good animation movies, well-made animation movies. Again, humor, the tone seems to be something that would be working well with like an MCU type, Avengers type, Super Smash Brothers type movie. Again, the humor has always been pretty good in the Spider-Verse movies and in the Lego movie, and the heart is definitely there. So I don't think they could really ruin it. I just think that it may not be something they want to do due to the kind of movies they've already done. Now, as far as the characters go, it'd be really cool to see characters from all sorts of IPs. I know as at the time of recording this video, the Zelda movie has been pushed back and will come out hopefully in 2027. And so far, as of time of recording, there hasn't been any castings, but I have a couple of actors and actresses that I believe would be really well chosen for these kind of roles. Super Mario Brothers has already come out with Charlie Day as Luigi, Chris Pratt as Mario, Jack Black as Bowser. So those are already pretty established characters that whether they do it in live action or in animation form, I think could translate really well. Now I'm going to list a couple of characters, and sorry, go back to the characters established. Detective Pikachu already has Ryan Reynolds as Pikachu. It could be changed, especially if it's going to be, well, either way, if it's live action or if it's, I mean, you're not going to have a human Pikachu. So it could be changed, but I think Ryan Reynolds will most likely stick to that role if they were to make a Super Smash Brothers movie. Seth Rogen as Donkey Kong, which came out already in the Super Mario Brother movie. Anna Taylor-Joy reprising Princess Peach. I think a good addition as Wario would be Danny DeVito. He's wild. He looks like Wario. He's got the character of Wario in a lot of his roles, so I think it would be a good transition. Now, as far as Zelda goes, there's a lot of, let's just say, discussion over who could play Zelda. Now, in my opinion, I feel that it really, since these characters are basically cartoons, it doesn't really matter if who plays them, as long as they play them well and they honor the character. So to begin with Zelda, I think a good choice might be Hunter Schafer. Another good choice could be Freya Allan from The Witcher, Sophie Turner from X-Men and other movies, Elle Fanning, Dakota Fanning's sister. I don't know why I mentioned that, but some people might not know who she is, but due to the connection, put one and one together. Or Anna Sophia Robb. I think all these actresses look the part. I think they're good actresses. They can take on the role, and I think that they would do a good job portraying a princess in that sort of story. As far as Link goes, for any of the live action or animation versions of Link, I think probably the best choice would be Tanner Buchanan from Cobra Kai. He's still young, he looks the part, he's physical, and he's not a bad actor. I think Thomas Brody Sangster, which is he was Jojen inside of Game of Thrones and a couple of other movies. He looks really young for being his age. He looks like a little elf kid. He's a good actor, and I think that in this kind of story they should start off young, especially since Link is young. I think on the more I guess you could say famous or known end for Link, Timothée Chalamet might be able to fit it. He's got the look. All he would have to do really is dye his hair, and I think he can pull the gravitas needed for Link, as well as the comedy that might be inside of a Super Smash Brothers movie. So as far as Link goes, it's really just depends on what direction they're going with, especially if it's live action or if it's animation. With Ganon, somebody I really think could do a really good job is Joe Manganiello. He looks exactly like Ganon would look like in real life. Put a little bit of makeup on him. He's already jacked. He's already tall. He's already a good actor, and he loves fantasy. He loves D&D. So I think based on all these attributes that he already has, it'd be perfect to have him as Ganon. I can't even think of anyone else. I don't even want to list anyone else that might be good as Ganon. Samus would be cool. I mean, either way, Zero Suit or normal suit, Samus would be really cool. As someone that's tall, of course, blonde, can carry strength in a scene, might be a little stoic, but still has, I guess, heart, and you could say. I think Mackenzie Davis would be a really good choice. I don't think she's the best actress, but I could definitely see her as Samus. Another couple of actors I mentioned before already were Sophie Turner, which would look great as Samus. She's gotten jacked as well for her new role as Tomb Raider, and Hunter Schafer as well. Same reasons as I gave for Sophie Turner, Mackenzie Davis. Seems like the role would fit well. Now, as far as any someone like extra characters that are not necessarily known to a lot of people, like Star Fox or Falco, or Captain Falcon, I think Taron Egerton would be great as Star Fox. He's small, he's tough. He's got a good sense of comedy, and he's got that that Star Fox angst in him. I think a good choice for Star Fox would be Sebastian Stan, which plays Bucky in the Avengers and all the MCU. I think, first of all, he's a great actor. I think it'd be cool to see him as Star Fox commanding, his crew, Falco. And I think whether it be live action or animation, I think he can carry it pretty well. His voice is pretty recognizable. And I think there's a lot of fans that would be really happy to see him as something like that. As far as Falco goes, Fox's homie, I think Childish Gambino would be really good. He's got that, I don't know how to put it. He's got that the sass, I guess you could say, that Falco has, and I could see him doing maybe not live action, but I could definitely see him doing a voiceover on live action or animation, as well as Sebastian Stan as Falco. It could be either way, Star Fox or Falco. It's kind of a similar character, especially since they're from the same universe. Ben Schwartz as Sonic has never been more perfect. I would keep him perfect. He's already live action, animation, whatever you want to call it. It's perfect. I think Jason Mantzoukas from The League and some other wild movies and TV shows, I think he'd be perfect for Yoshi. I know he may not have the Yoshi or what. I can't do it. Yoshi. I can't do it. That voice. It doesn't matter if he has. I think he has his character that he portrays in most media is wild enough that it would be funny to see him as Yoshi. It'd be kind of like an inside joke to see him as Yoshi. Probably not live action, but voiceover live action like Pikachu is, or like Sonic, or just animation. I think for Captain Falcon, I think Wyatt Russell, I think he would do a really good job. I think his role in Thunderbolts, and I think his role in the MCU in general, is a good indication that he can pull off, whether it be a live action Captain Falcon or voiceover or animation Captain Falcon. He's got the voice, he's got the gravitas that Captain Falcon would need, and I can definitely see him being funny like Captain Falcon to me is. I've always seen Captain Falcon as a humorous character. He might be really serious, but to me he's always been more of a humorous character, especially with all the attacks he names and Falcon. But okay, and let's just say they decided to add more characters. I think a good character to be added to that, just to round out this character, I know it's gone a little long, is Keanu Reeves as Shadow. He did an amazing job in the movie, so whether it be voiceover, whether it be animation or live action, I think Keanu Reeves would be perfect to keep his role, reprise his role as Shadow. Now, as far as what we could expect for the stories, I think that a good story for Super Smash Bros. Would be kind of like what the original story is. Now, the original Smash lore is the fighters are toys, and basically they're brought to life by a child's imagination, as represented by Master Hand. And when Master Hand is defeated, it's basically when playtime ends, and then they turn back into toys, or in further future stories into trophies. I think that's a really cool story. I think that even as an adult, I still imagine my toys and my collectibles coming to life, and I think a lot of children, a lot of everybody has that imagination, and I think it'd be easy to get behind that kind of story. It would have to kind of fit in with what's already established by the Detective Pikachu, by Sonic, by the upcoming Link, by Super Mario Brothers, all those movies. It has to be established, I don't know, somehow. So I think it would be really cool to see that kind of story with the original story. Another story that would be really cool is a tournament, like sort of like how Mortal Kombat is, how they kind of got different warriors from different regions, and in this case, different universes, different lore, different story. It'd be cool, like to have, I don't know, like some sort of Master Hand type villain, or even Master Hand itself. Bring them all together in order to, I don't know, see which universe sort of like the multiverse, sort of how the MCU does it, or is gonna do it most likely, where they're gonna have to, like, the X-Men and the Avengers are gonna have to fight most likely, and to keep their universe alive, things like that. I think that those kind of stories will work really well, especially with an ensemble character list as big and as bright as Super Smash Brothers is. It'd be really cool to see all the characters with their stages, or being brought from where their stages are. It'd be like Yoshi's Island. It'd be cool to see Kirby's Kingdom. Kirby's Dreamland, the Mushroom Kingdom, Hyrule. It'd be cool to see Samus land on land from I don't know, somewhere like a Metroid sequence scene, I guess you could say. It'd be really cool using Sonic's rings as a way of traveling through the universe, as a big, kind of like not a MacGuffin, but like the connecting tissue for all of these universes. Like let's just say Sonic has to, I don't know, somebody comes through somewhere and through some sort of portal in Sonic, and the only way to get to these other universes to meet each other and team up and whatnot is through Sonic's rings. That would be really cool to see, since it's already something that Sonic uses to travel between worlds. I think it'd be really cool to see like Zelda versus Samus. Like, they find each other on a planet or some world, and because they don't know who each other are, they tend to they fight, or they see, I don't know, they end up finding each other as comrades in some way. Same thing with Mario versus Link, sort of like how they do it in the intros for Super Smash Brothers. And then Pikachu, maybe fighting a Charizard, or like in the movie, or fighting one of the Pokemon that was, or like a Jigglypuff or something that was in one of the Smash Brothers games. I think that'd be really interesting to see in live action or even animation. Now, as far as what I think needs to be, I guess, the tone for whatever the movie ends up being, I think it needs to be a combination of all of the stories and all of the lore of all of these characters. So, for example, I think that Zelda should be a little more serious than the Super Mario Brothers universe, where it's more jokey, more chaotic, whereas Zelda is a little more Game of Thrones feeling, a little more Lord of the Rings feeling, high fantasy, where you would have real stakes, but of course it's Zelda, it's not really Game of Thrones. I think it'd be cool to see, I guess, a lot of cuteness, I guess you could say, with Kirby, with Yoshi, with all those cuter, I guess, Super Smash Brothers characters. It'd be cool to see Samus alone in space, just stoic, quiet, badass. I think each of them need to have spotlight. Like, the movie can't be Mario and Friends or Link and Friends. It has to be Super Smash Brothers, all of them. They need to feel authentic from wherever their world brings them. They need to feel like they still have that world character when they meet the other characters. They can't just be, like I said earlier, cameos. Now, I know that this movie has really high expectations. It doesn't even exist yet. But I know that a lot of people have wanted this for years, including myself. And with that, a lot of expectation and a lot of hype and controversy. There's going to be a lot of people telling Nintendo not to mess it up, telling whatever production company, whatever directors end up doing it. As far as also production companies, Illumination is a good production company for a lot of animation, a lot of voiceovers. Pixar would be really cool. I doubt Pixar would get involved with this since they're not involved already with any of these characters. Sony Animation would be really cool to see. Again, they're not involved with any of these characters at the moment, so I really doubt that they would take over this. So it's just really a toss-up because a lot of these movies already have different production companies and studios behind them. I think it'd have to be a lot of collaboration in order to get it right. Now, what the movie though, I think when the movie is announced, if the movie is announced, I think it's gonna have Avengers Endgame level hype. I think because it has characters from all walks of life, it has characters from decades ago and more recently, of course. I think the excitement is gonna be crazy. They have to get it right. The studio has to be chosen correctly. The cast, the characters, and the story has to be strong. Again, I think the original story of Smash is probably going to be the better choice, but because of the already established movies, it most likely will be based on whatever has already happened or whatever characters already exist in those movies. Now, what I hope to see, I really hope to see all the characters strongly represented. I really hope to see if it is animation, the CGI to be top notch. If it's just voiceover, live action, I really hope that the casting is done right. I really hope that whatever the character design is done right in the studio. I hope to see the fans be positive with it or give it a chance and hopefully not expect it to fail before it even started. I hope that the movie's building towards a Super Smash Brothers movie, including the new upcoming Zelda movie, another possible Pokemon Detective Pikachu type movie, and others that are ready, that are in the books back and to the future. I hope they help and I hope they push this Super Smash Brothers movie that I'm hoping for to be as big and as grand and as just really cool and imaginative as I wish it has been, or I wish it would be since I was a child. And I think a lot of modern adults and a lot of even children that are new to Super Smash Brothers would really appreciate a movie that, although can be very funny, although can be very, for children to take itself seriously enough to want to exceed whatever expectations people have from previous type movies and these last few years of just horrible releases. Now, tell me, what is your favorite Super Smash Brothers character? Is it Pikachu? Is it Samus? Is it Mario? Link? Luigi? Personally, mine is Pikachu. I've always loved Pikachu. Tell me in the comments what your favorite Smash character is and what you would like to see in a new Super Smash Brothers movie. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Game!